Well, nearly 2 years after they stood at the same podium and called on the State Department to label Russia a state sponsor of terrorism, this morning, those same senators are speaking out again. The renewed push by Republican Lindsey Graham and Democrat Richard Blumenthal coming as Russia and North Korea agree to a new security pact, their first in more than 20 years. NewsNation's Joe Khalil live for us on Capitol Hill. And Joe, these lawmakers introduced a similar bill after Russia invaded Ukraine. So what are they saying now?
Yeah, this isn't new necessarily from Senators Lindsey Graham and Richard Blumenthal, the Republican and the Democrat working together on this. But they say that what just happened this week is a huge bolster to their case. The fact that Vladimir Putin went to North Korea and was welcomed openly in this show of unity between North Korea and Russia is in itself its own case for a reason for the United States to declare Russia as a state sponsor of terrorism. Listen to what we just heard from both of these senators moments ago.
Exhibit A, I rest my case. Russia deserves to be in this small, selective club of atrocity-committing killers.
We're not giving up. We're going to insist on a vote. The best thing we could do, I think, to shape the future is to label Putin a terrorist leader, because he is.
Now, that picture that Senator Blumenthal held up was the now infamous image of both Kim Jong-un and Vladimir Putin together, and North Korea essentially celebrating both of them with those big pictures there. Both of these men get classified briefings, and they said, without revealing classified information, that it is very likely that Russia is at this moment helping North Korea develop its nuclear capabilities. Now, there are only a handful of countries that the U.S. right now designates as state sponsors of terrorism. North Korea is actually one of them on that list. So both of these men have said, look, if helping them, a state sponsor of terrorism, further their nuclear capabilities doesn't land you on that list, they don't know what will. Now, there are practical questions, actually, I asked about this as well, as to what this actually accomplishes. There are a certain number of automatic restrictions that come in on countries that are on this list, but many of them are already in place that the U.S. and our allies put onto Russia after they've invaded Ukraine. But this is how the senators answered that question. They say this would be a huge boost in morale to Ukrainians. They say that this would further make Russia a pariah on the global stage. It would also allow for Vladimir Putin's victims to have access to American courts to try to pursue justice in that way. They also say that Russia's sovereign immunity against criminal cases, which exists right now, would be wiped away if the U.S. takes this on and makes them a state sponsor of terror. So that was the message we got from, again, this bipartisan duo that's been working on this. And they say if it's not time now, then there's never going to be a time to make this designation, Nichole.
All right, yeah, if it's not done now. Okay, Joe Khalil live for us there in Washington. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.